the latest with Maya. For those of you who don't know, Jimmy McGorman and Rob Valier have written for some of the biggest names in music. Their debut album, Instructions for Losing Control, will be out November 21st, and I really love your current song, No One's Forgiven. I'm very
Thank you.
excited to be talking with you and to learn more about you.
Well, we're happy to
Thanks.
be here.
Um, so how has social media and TikTok in particular affected your songs? Are there any challenges to releasing music on social media?
Hmm. You want to take this, Rob, or you want me to?
Sure. I mean, why not? Why not? Well, it's a two-sided what's that term? What's the term? It's a two-sided blade or whatever it is.
Double-edged sword
Double-edged sword. Thank you.
or
It's a
catch
double-edged
22. Yeah, you could
Yeah,
go with that as well.
exactly. Well, that's what it really is because it's a great opportunity, obviously, to reach people at the highest level and at numbers that you could never really do if you're going door to door. But at the same time, you have expectations of of entertaining as opposed to just trying to get your message or your music out to people. We've had multiple conversations with social media managers and people like that who have this idea that you have to do what everybody else does to get seen. And we've kind of purposely not gone down that road and tried to keep it about the songs and the music instead of bucket challenges or whatever needs to be done. So yeah, there's two sides to it really. We're so grateful that people all around the world can check out our music or check out our videos or check out our website. That's the good side of it. The bad side is the whole having to throw up 15 pictures a day, of you dancing a jig or something like that.
Yeah, we actually haven't really been active on TikTok. I mean, that to answer your question really specifically, TikTok is its existence has not affected our music at all. I mean, we didn't make music for it to be on TikTok or specifically. We made music because we were we there was a lot of music that we grew up with that we loved that we didn't feel was being represented in today's music, certain styles and sounds and types of melody writing and lyric writing. So we wanted to make something that we were excited about. The social media stuff, I mean, look, like Rob says, it's a great thing to be able to reach all these different people, but it doesn't really affect our making music. We're going to make music if TikTok ended tomorrow, we would make music the same way.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh wow. Yeah. So is there a song either of yours or someone else's that always brings a tear to your eye?
Oh,
Well,
geez.
yeah, well, just what we were talking about, that Gene Wilder, when he starts going into that song in Willy Wonka, I'll tell you, man, that gets me every time. I think it's one of the most beautiful melodies ever written. The way he performs it, he's such an amazing performer. So that one gets me every time. Um,
What gets me, which is similar, When You Wish Upon a Star.
yeah,
I think that is one of the most beautiful melodies ever. And it has similar jumps and leaps that
yeah.
the Willy Wonka song has as well. But yeah, I mean, one of the songs on our record that people have been kind of gravitating towards, there's a song called Osaka, which is kind of a strange song. It just doesn't really conform to norms, but it's a little slower and it's a little melancholy, and there's something
Intimate.
emotional about it. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
something emotional about it. I'm not really sure why. But out of all the songs, I mean, not that many people have heard the record yet because it's not out. But from amongst our friends that have heard it, that song is coming up a lot, which is interesting.
Oh know. Yeah, there's so many songs that usually will like um make me emotional. That I
Is it
just
another musical song?
sorry, what?
Is it a musical song? It's funny that we both picked a musical song.
Yeah. Yeah, well there's oh yes, there is. There's from Spring Awakening, which is one of my favorite Broadway soundtracks. The
Mm,
song Left Behind. That song
mm.
will always
Always
make
get
me
you.
what?
Is it? It'll always get you.
Yes.
I
Definitely.
gotta say too, I play in the Goo Goo Dolls. That's my day job, and the song Iris, which is a
Oh,
just an
geez.
unbelievable song. I get emotional.
Yeah.
I've played it probably 1,000 times. Sometimes the setting, and actually most nights, I there's an emotional pull to that song
Well,
that
yeah,
is
when
it's
you've got,
incredible.
yeah, when you've got thousands of people looking at you while that song's playing, and you get to see their faces, just absorb that, and they're so emotional.
Yeah.
I don't blame you. I would have the same,
Well,
you'd
it's
have the same.
amazing. I think Bono years ago said something that always stuck with me, talking about how music can change the temperature in a room. And I think, songs like Iris do that.
Hmm.
I mean, everyone's having a great time anyway, but then and any of your favorite bands, there's I don't know, 20, 30 songs in a set, but there are one or two that, everybody just kind of feel something,
Yeah.
and that's a song that, personally to me, obviously because I play it all the time, it affects me,
Hmm.
and I'm glad that it still does after,
Yeah, no
8
kidding. It's
years,
going
because
through the
that means that
motions.
I'm in the moment, and
Yeah.
it means that I'm not numb to it, which is great.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Yeah, Iris also, that song will make me cry.
Oh,
So,
Yeah.
yeah, I love it. Um, yeah, so what are the songs that make you sing along whenever you hear them?
oh boy. You know what's funny? I'm not a huge fan of this song. I mean, I respect it for what it is, but when on a Prayer" comes out,
I
people just
literally,
immediately
I was gonna say that.
people
That's
immediately start
crazy.
singing it, whether you can sing, whether you can't, whether you're in a grocery store, whether you know what I mean? Like you
Yeah,
hear that song, you're just kind of like,
Out
yeah,
of all the songs in the world, that's what I was going to say as
are
well.
you serious?
Yeah, I was going to say Living on a Prayer. I don't know what
Gosh,
that chorus is so infectious,
it's so
and I've heard it
massive
eight
too.
million times, and I grew up with it and
Yep.
sang it. But that's it's hard to not sing along to that song.
Do you know
yeah,
Really hard.
that was voted the number one song of the 80s? I did
Really?
not know
That doesn't
that.
surprise me.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me, but you're like, oh, really? And then you go, oh, yeah. Yeah, I see why.
yeah.
How about you?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many. Actually, when you were, Rob, when you came on, I was listening to MGK's newest album. I've had that
Oh,
on repeat since it's
yeah,
out.
really?
Um, yeah, so like any song from
Yeah,
um,
he knows how to
from
write
that
he
album.
knows how to write a hit.
Yes. Yeah, any song from that album, especially Sweet Coraline, that song,
Mm.
like I will just sing at the top of my lungs. So,
Nice.
yeah.
Yeah. You know what
Yeah.
song I will not sing to? I refuse to. Sweet
What?
Caroline by
That's, don't even get me
Ba, ba,
started.
ba. That will not happen. That does not come
Well,
out of my mouth.
I was listening to it yesterday,
Oh, is that
literally
right?
yesterday. Well, yeah, I told you because we're going to do a show. We're doing a show this weekend, and Neil Diamond's supposed to be there. And they told me his keyboard player can't make it. And if he wants to sing the song, I have to do
Oh
it. So
no.
that's why I was
Well,
listening to it yesterday.
do you
That's
remember
so
meeting
weird
him
that
in
you
the
mentioned that.
Do you remember meeting him in the tour? Was it? I think it was him. You met him with the tour bus for the New Year's Day parade.
Yeah, I met him in a tour bus. Yeah, we because they kept everybody in a bus because it was freezing out. And then
Yeah.
before you got on the float to go around for the Macy's, I was playing with Avril Lavigne. and he was very nondescript. He had a newspaper and like a scarf, and she didn't know who he was. Um, I mean, which isn't surprising. He just looked like a normal dude, just kind of
Yeah.
sitting there. And and I said, it's Neil Diamond. You know, I hadn't seen him in person ever. You know, and so he did the float as well. He must have done it after we did. But yeah, no, I was listening to that song yesterday because I have to be prepared in case he wants to sing it. Uh, I might,
That
I might be playing it with him. I don't know. We'll see.
would
I'll
be
let you know
awesome.
after the weekend.
Oh wow. Yeah. Um, yeah, that's so cool. Um, so if you had a warning label, what would yours say?
A warning label.
Like about personally warning.
Yes.
Oh,
That's actually a great lyric idea, by the way.
it is good. I like it.
My
I'm gonna
warning
go
label
first
would
and
be
say I'm gonna say sensitive artist
mine
right
would
there.
be warning tends to start talking louder the more excited he gets.
I
How
love
about you?
that.
How
Do you
about
have
you?
one?
Yeah, I have I think I'd have several. So one of them would be I think yours, Rob, is a good one for me too, because my mom usually will tell me when I'm excited. She's like, turn the volume down a little bit.
My wife goes like this all the time to me. She's like, okay, okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And
funny.
yeah, and I'd also have like prone to anxiety, don't overload.
Sure.
Mm,
Yeah.
I think
that's
that would
good.
be the main one.
Yeah. I think we should all have shirts made and we need
I
to put
like
Yeah,
it.
the yellow thing on the front.
yeah, we
I
can
love
all
it.
be matching.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Coldplay has a song called Warning Signs,
Oh
right? I
yeah.
think it's on the
Warning.
second album, maybe. Yeah.
Hmm.
It's a good song.
Beautiful song. I love them so much.
Cool. Yeah. So what is the biggest obstacle you've overcome?
You mean in life or in music
Yeah.
or
I mean, whichever.
that's a great question. I th- Jim, would you have one? I mean, I can jump in if you want, but
You go first. That's a tough question.
my biggest obstacle in life is keeping the pedal to the floor. It's easy. I find that I fight daily to not go and sit in front of a television and and watch music videos all day and take a nap all day long. So I'm always fighting to because there's always so much to do. And with this record, we have been, writing the album was easy, not easy, but that was the fun part. It's the administrative side of it that just takes up all of your day and time. And so it's I find it that every day I've got to keep telling myself all the way through the day, keep it going. Let's keep moving. Let's keep moving. We got plenty of things to do. I don't think I have that natural I've got energy, but that's always been my biggest fight and battle.
That's really surprising for me to hear you say that because I feel
Hmm.
like you are always moving forward and
Yeah,
always pushing it's interesting because my answer you might say the same for me is I think my answer is calming the voices in my head
sure.
to try to
Yeah.
the obstacles are most people's obstacles are self-made I think
Yes.
so telling myself, my brain to say, you're good. Just stay in this moment here, not thinking too much about the future or too much about the past. Trying to be in the moment as much as I can, which obviously I try to do a lot. But
I
I think
see
that's
that.
the hardest thing. But I think your thing is it's funny because I would never think that because you are such
Well,
a
it's,
go-getter.
I mean, I know what I want to accomplish and I know what it takes to accomplish it. And so many times people know what they want to accomplish, but they don't take the steps to get there.
They don't do
And
the
I
work.
think,
Yeah.
yeah, and it's the work part. It's the work part. And I have so many friends, and Jim and I have been in the business so long that it's like you hear so many people talk about all these ideas that they never take that first step towards it. They just talk and think about it. So I'm always saying if I'm going to do something, I want, I just got to keep the feet moving. Even when I want to either give up or take a break. There's no time for that. So that's always been my battle. But Jim, I get that. I see that in you. I actually see that coming out in the lyrics that we write. I see that those struggles, and I think that's the great thing about the lyrics on this album. There's a lot of interpersonal conversations being had through the lyrics. Either that or very societal conversations. But we've made a conscious effort on this album to really focus on the internal me and what's going on there, whether it's a struggle or whether it's joy or whatever. But it's all inside first. So
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. So I am pop culture obsessed and I go in stages of shows that I cannot stop watching.
yes.
Is there a show that you are currently obsessed with?
Well, first of all, Jim and I are football guys, so NFL is an obsession in itself. We are always, if we're working in the studio on a Sunday, man, we are both running out the door to find out what the score is all the time. Um, I always have Big Bang Theory on at all times. When I'm like at home and I'm doing dinner or cooking or whatever, it's always playing because there's always reruns, right? I've seen every episode. I'm not joking. I've seen every episode 50 times at least. And it's always funny. I'm watching I don't know how new it is, but I've been getting back into Daredevil and there's that show, The Interview with a Vampire. Have you seen that on
Yeah.
Netflix?
I mean,
No.
It's
I've
fan-
seen it like on Netflix, but I haven't
yeah.
watched it.
So it's the guy who was his name was Worm on Game of Thrones. He was the military guy. He plays a phenomenal actor. It's kind of a redo of Interview with a Vampire with Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt.
Interesting.
Watch it. It is so good. So those are my two for
Nice.
now. What about you, Jim?
Well, I watch a lot of stuff with my daughter.
Right.
Most of it's inappropriate for her age.
Yeah.
Uh, she's an action person. She loves action. Like like she likes the show Tracker, which we watch.
Yeah.
She likes this show called SWAT that we've watched a bunch of episodes. But like I personally, like I mean, I like a lot of the kind of Netflix. I liked or HBO. I mean, Ted Lasso. I
Oh
love
gosh,
that
yeah.
show.
My absolute
Binge
favorite.
that. Like I've seen that whole thing twice. I love The Queen's Gambit. And shows like that. But my daughter and I, if there's an action movie kind of vibe, we watch those and action shows. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
How
Yeah,
about
I
you,
love.
Maya?
Sorry, what?
How about you? What are you watching?
Oh.
Miss Pop, you probably have all the new shows that we don't know about.
I just um finished watching a limited series on Netflix called Wayward,
Wayward.
which is really good. It has kind of like a Twin Peaks kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Um
Oh, I
and
love that.
Yeah, and so I really liked that. I just watched a new rom-com that I loved called The Threesome, which is
Hmm.
really good.
Okay.
Um, and I just rewatched one of my favorite thrillers that I still love just as much as the first time I saw it. So it's
Oh,
called One Way.
one way.
Hmm.
I don't know it. I gotta write these down. You know what's going on more better
What
than we
was the
do.
one? What was the one that just came out with Eric Bana a couple months
Oh man,
ago?
that's
And it was
good.
not
Untamed?
Yellowstone. It was about
No.
like one of the
He's
other national
Untamed?
parks.
What's it
Yes, I
called?
think was it that? It was like Yosemite or
Yeah,
something. It was like
he's a
set in the
cop. He's a cop in Yellowstone or
yeah.
Yosemite,
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
whatever.
that was cool. We
He's
watched
great.
that. Yeah.
yeah,
He,
All those
he's
types of
great.
mystery types, they're fun to kind of
yeah.
get lost
My
in.
my wife is addicted to those. So anytime, like if I'm out in LA, like working with Jim, I don't even have to ask her what she's doing because she just sits there and watches murder shows on like the whodunit murder, like whatever on Netflix. Oh my gosh, she can't stop.
I can't watch those. I
Oh
they give me too much anxiety. So
yeah,
Yeah.
blame
yeah,
you.
yeah.
That's what was that show the big Breaking Bad. I couldn't it
Oh,
gave me so it was so
I love
good.
it.
It was so good. It gave me anxiety and I'd lay in bed staring at the ceiling.
Yeah,
Best. It was like that's one of the best shows ever made,
Absolutely.
ever. My
Yeah, that's why
favorite.
it's so good, right?
yeah, that's my best friend. That's one of his favorite shows, and
Ah,
I've um I've never watched it because like it looks really good, but
yeah.
also like too dark. I'm like, I don't
It
think I
gets
could do
dark.
Yeah, it
it.
Yeah, it
does.
gets dark. You got to commit to it too. Yeah, it gets dark.
And then kind of becomes your brain in your life, in your brain. It's kind of weird. I couldn't get rid of it.
Yeah. I have that problem with like, yeah, with like scare if I see like some like a scary movie or something, like I
Yeah.
can't get scenes out of my head.
Yeah.
Then they're just haunting me for
Yeah, you got to be
long.
careful what you put in, especially right before you go to bed.
That's the
You
Yeah.
know, you
key.
can't, you got to, that's why I would watch Seinfeld every night before bed, like,
A
because,
great idea.
then you can just, it's just
Like our
light
Ted
and it's
Lasso, like you
funny
say,
and
right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been watching the show White Collar is another one of my favorite
I
shows.
don't
I've
know
been
that.
watching that every night before going to bed. So it just if I watch something like really intense before that, it helps just like drown that out and
Right.
get rid of that. So yeah. So that's one of my all-time favorite shows. I actually have a poster of it on my wall.
Nice.
Nice.
So yeah. Um, what genre of movie would your life story be told as?
16 Candles.
D- No, the genre. What's the
Oh,
genre?
genre.
It's I'm gonna
Comedy.
go with dramedy,
Oh, dramedy. I'd like to say sci-fi, but I'm not that
thousand
interesting.
percent. No, it has to be a dramedy because it's everything, because it's dramatic and it's
Give me
funny.
a dramedy. Give me a movie, a dramedy movie.
Uh, well, like, I mean, like, okay, the one I'm thinking of is like maybe Wolf of Wall Street, which is like funny, but
Funny,
it's dramatic
debaucherous,
at the
and
same
dark.
scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, or what's that one? American Hustle. Like that's a dramedy for
Oh, okay,
me.
got it.
Like it's dramatic, but there's really funny things in it.
Yeah. I'm just gonna go straight comedy.
Silver Linings Playbook, right?
Oh,
Those types
okay.
of
You know what?
yeah,
Yeah,
like
I get
it's
it.
it's serious, but there's really funny parts and
Yes.
yeah,
How about you?
Oh, I would love for it to be a musical rom-com.
That's
nice.
That
actually great.
yeah, that's my dream.
Yeah. What's your favorite
Yeah.
musical? Obviously, you're a musical person.
Yes, well, my favorite movie musical is The Prom on
The Bomb.
Netflix.
Huh.
It's a Broadway show, and then in
Huh.
2020 it was made into a
The
mu
show.
movie for Netflix, and I am obsessed with that
Yeah.
movie. I've seen it so many times. I love it.
Wonderful. I was lucky enough to I've never been a big fan of musicals, to be quite honest with you. There's songs that catch me that are great, but I've never been a huge fan. I have a lot of respect for it, but it's not my big thing. I got the opportunity to work with Eric Idle on Spamalot. Have you ever heard of Spamalot?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to work with him on that and see how that was basically written in my recording studio. And just to see how he writes comedy for, I mean, I've always been a big Monty Python fan, but to see him sit there and just come up with it so effortlessly and so simply. I mean, obviously he'd been doing it for 50 years of his life, so it's maybe it made it look a little easier, but I got to be a part of that from beginning to end, and it was a really fun experience. And to watch it go from just an idea of he's like, well, I guess I'm gonna maybe do a musical about Holy Grail, and I'm like, well, that sounds funny. I mean, probably be pretty good. And then it went from that to bigger, 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 and then all of a sudden these big actors are coming into my little recording studio to sing their parts and stuff, and it was a wonderful experience to be around, you know.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to see my first Broadway show 2 years ago, which was the
Nice.
coolest experience.
And which one was it?
Nice.
Gutenberg.
Oh, I know of it. I don't know
I
who
don't know
was
what
in
it
it.
is.
It was Andrew Rannells and Josh Gad. Um,
Josh Gad's great.
yeah, yeah, and Andrew he was in the prom, uh, the movie, and I interviewed him
Oh,
a few
wonderful.
years ago, and then we've kept in touch, and so he invited me and my family to go see Gutenberg, and so
Wow.
Nice.
all of our first Broadway
That's great.
was so cool.
Wow. Did you get are you in well, I guess they do those traveling shows. Is that how you get to see it? Or did you go to Broadway and see it?
Yeah, we went to New York and got
Oh
to
my
see it on
gosh.
Broadway.
Holy cow. Good
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah, it was the coolest experience.
Wow. Good for you.
Thank you. And yeah, I my best friend also always um uh, he will kind of make fun of me for that rom-coms are like my favorite
Yeah.
genre of movie. He'll watch a little bit of everything, and I try to. There's some genres that I'm just like, no, I can't watch that. But rom-coms always.
Always work. They always do the trick, don't they?
Yes, they do. Yeah. Yeah. Um, so is there a song that you are currently obsessed with?
I
I would
want to say yes, and I'm trying to think of what it
no.
is.
I mean, when you make music and you write music, I mean, I think it's usually what you're working on.
Yeah, agreed.
So like when we were working on this Flight to London album, we those songs rattle in your head a lot.
Yeah.
They just kind of go over and over because you're working on them and you're trying to see what works or what doesn't work or what is missing or what's not missing. So
You nailed that because Jim, right now I was going to say Walls because we have a
yeah.
song called Walls that is our second single that comes out in like 2 weeks or something like that. And it's at the forefront of my head and I can't stop singing the melody in my head. Also, we've got a couple of songs that aren't out yet that are sitting there picking at my brain, Death by a Thousand Cuts, and I can't stop singing the melody. You're right, Jim. That's exactly what sticks in my head.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Yeah. So do you have a specific songwriting process when it comes to yeah, creating music?
Yeah, we actually, well, looking back at this album, so Jim and I have written for other artists, just a lot of different artists over the past 15 years or so. But we always have believed that if you can't play it on either a piano or a guitar and sing it, that's not a song we want to be a part of. We want to be able to grab a guitar, sit there and play the song and not have to worry about the production. And that's where we always start with songs. So this album,
Yeah.
Jim's always on his piano. I'm usually sitting there over the top, just kind of singing melodies and stuff like that. And we go from there. But we don't even demo a song until it's done, playable. with the vocals on there, and then we go from there. A lot of people spend more time producing than they do actually writing a song. So we believe that having the basics together, and if that works in a simple form, it'll work with a huge production. Agree, Jim?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, 90, like Rob said, 99% of the time I'm playing a piano or, some form of a piano keyboard. I mean, we also write on guitar, but for this project specifically, the keyboard is kind of the main is the main instrument. We also are very conscious of bass lines, and
Hmm.
sometimes we write things just on the bass, but most of it is starts with a some kind of a chord structure and a melody,
Yeah.
and one of us will usually have an idea about what we want the song to be about, whether it's just a phrase or or an idea. Like we had one idea a couple of weeks ago, and I said I want to write this song about this, and he said no, it's no good, and I said okay, and then it kind of led us to something that was good,
Yeah.
and so I think it's important to just we don't we just kind of roll the ball. We don't believe in writer's block or any of that. I mean, I was talking about this with someone the other day. It's like you can write every day. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be good. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm going to write a good song every day, but you can write a song every day.
Hmm.
So it's just a matter of how much do you push and how much do you, kind of are you feeling it or not? But
Right.
that process is pretty fast for us usually, at least for getting the ball rolling,
Hmm.
because we have a lot of influences and we've been doing it a long time.
And we actually enjoy sitting in a room. That room that Jim is in is where basically everything was done. We enjoy sitting in a room. And there's so much there's so much laughter, and there's so much, yeah, there's just so much joy when we're in there together. And when you have that kind of joy, uh, things come out of it, you know. And being able to do it together. Jim had a career before. I had a career before, and we realized that doing it with somebody else is great for us. It works for us, and you're bouncing things off of each other, and we both know each other well enough where we can go, yeah, no, or hey, try this, or whatever, and not get so butt hurt when your idea maybe doesn't make it onto the track.
Oh wow, I love that. Yeah, I've always loved writing song lyrics, so I
Mm.
love hearing other people's inspiration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny when you write with other people, it's surprising how much similarity is in our everyday life and things that are important or things that hurt us or things that give us anxiety. You know, we're all kind of going through the same things. So to hear somebody else's interpretation of that is always inspiring to us.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, do you have a gold standard when it comes to songwriting? Like a yeah, song or artist you consider to be the gold standard?
Yeah. I think you'd be surprised. I think Jim and I both have different opinions on that. Jim, where would you go?
Well, I don't like to compare, what we're doing with other people because I think that can lead you down a difficult road. But I feel like, we I think we know what's if something's okay or not. I mean, I feel like, I'm not going to put my songs up against, Paul McCartney songs or something, but I feel like we've been around music enough and have studied music and have made careers in music for a long time that, we have a pretty good idea of, all right, is this okay? Is this decent?
Yeah.
And again, that to speak to what Rob's talking about, having a partner in something that's creative is really helpful because again we're always trying to kind of silence those critics in our head because we're
Hmm.
always our own worst critics. I mean,
Right.
artists are always sensitive and doubting, our process. But if you have someone else that who you respect, and then they, you come up with an idea, and then they say, yeah, I think so, then it's easy to move to that next step. And I mean, again, doing this as long as we have, I'm pretty good at editing, self-editing,
Mm-hmm.
so
Yep.
sometimes we'll work on something for an hour or two, and if I'm not feeling it, or Rob's not
Next.
feeling, we'll just be really honest about it and say,
Mm-hmm.
is this isn't good, is it? It's
Right.
not, or it's not right for this project. That's the other
Mm-hmm.
thing,
I,
because for the band Flight to London, for this album and this sound that we were going for, it was a very specific sound. And we can write other types of music, but they may not necessarily fit into this, kind of musical palette. So,
mm-hmm.
yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah, yeah, I've always like really admired like Macy Peters and MGK, their
Mm-hmm.
songwriting.
Yeah.
I love their lyrics of like every one of
Yeah.
their songs.
I think both Jim and I mean, there's bands that have stand out and obviously stood the test of time. You can always talk about the Beatles and you can always talk about it, but like I really have enjoyed the lyrics of Bono over the years and the way he is just his honesty. We could go down an 8 hour rabbit hole about great bands that probably nobody even knows about, but he's consistently inspired me. Obviously, there's the Billy Joels of the world, and there's
Of
people like
course.
that who are unbelievable writers and unbelievable musicians. Those guys, you see them and you just go, and the fact that they just keep going at it and keep giving such a high level of art. Those are big ones. This album was really focused on this band called Tears for Fears, who was a band from the 80s. We really focused on their kind of sound and melodies and energy. There's a band that you probably have never heard of called Scritti Politti, and they were another 80s band that we used as kind of a
Bit of
marker as we
a
went
bit of a
along,
benchmark.
a
Yeah. I mean,
benchmark.
obviously, Tears for Fears having two lead singers was something that appealed to us because it is somewhat, I don't want to say unique, but because Rob and I are both lead singers, or and wanted to sing lead and had the harmonies, because every time we sing a melody, one of us is singing the harmony on top of it or below it.
Yeah,
So, you know, taking bands that had multiple lead singers as inspiration was a natural thing to do,
yeah,
because there's really not that many. I mean,
right.
there's you know in the history of time, there's a lot of harmony singers, but in terms of just like duos, there's not
Hmm.
too many.
Oh wow. Yeah. So if you had the opportunity to put a message on a billboard for everyone to see, what would it be?
Wow.
Go to Flight to London Music, Flight to London dot music, and check
That's
out
a
our music. That would be the right now. That's where our head is. We're trying to.
that's a perfect. That is absolutely perfect.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, we're trying to make sure everybody checks it out. I mean, we don't expect it to be for everybody, but for the people that will get it, I think they'll really get it. And so we're just trying to get out there to say, hey, everybody, just take a listen. Let's see what you think, because I think we're going to find some really uh, solid fans because it's of such a specific sound.
Oh,
I would steal a line from Ted Lasso and say, "Be curious," because I think that
Nice.
when you are curious, you ask questions and you learn. And I struggle with people who don't want to ask questions and
Yeah.
don't want to learn about subjects or learn about other people or other points of view. So I feel like that's an important thing in our time right now, especially everything that's going on in our world. Just be curious about people,
Mhm.
ask questions, the odds are you have more in common than you think, you know.
Amen.
yeah. Oh, I love that. Yeah. Yeah, there's Another one of my favorite shows is called A Million Little Things, and I also
Oh,
have a sign from that from that too in my room. But there's in the second episode of the first season, one character just he says love each other, and that's just always stuck with me. So I would love to see that on the billboard.
yeah, I
That's
like
that's very
that.
similar to Julie Chen Moonves because my family and I watch Big Brother. I don't know if you watch Big Brother, but
Oh
we
yeah.
watch it all the time. And she at the end of every episode says, "Love one another."
Yeah,
Every episode, she says
I
that.
love it.
Oh, I love
Love it.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I just have a few more questions if that works for you.
Yeah, we're fine.
Um, so what is something people are always surprised to learn about you?
That I never drank alcohol
Yeah,
and
that's actually true.
never drink alcohol or have drunk had alcohol.
Yeah, that's pretty surprising to a
Yeah,
lot of people because
that's
you think,
good.
oh, dude, guy in a
Yeah,
band.
yeah, because most rock and roll musicians, I mean, especially at my age,
Have
have
been
gone
through it.
through it at some point. But I tried it a couple times, like little sips, and I was not interested in it. So that's probably the thing that most. I mean, I have friends that have known me for years and still like don't think about that or know that. So
I don't know. What do you think for me, Jim? I mean, I like to cook. Nobody would think that about me. I like
I was
history.
surprised about the camping, like that you're
Oh,
like an outdoorsman, like a
I am
camping
an
dude,
outdoorsman. I
or
love to
have no,
camp.
and also, and you have like a huge truck. You you don't seem like a huge truck dude. You know what I
I
mean?
got,
Like,
I got a rig. I got a
yeah, he's
camping
got like
rig.
a whole thing with like like if there was an apocalypse, he'd be set up. Like he could live for months off grid. I would be done. I'd be dead within 4 days. I'd be done. Rob might make it a little while,
Yeah, great.
which is surprise. That's very surprising to me.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. So, in being in Phoenix, it gets so hot here that you got to get out of town during the summer. If you got a Saturday or Sunday or something, you got to get out. So, I put together a rig and I go way out into the bush, and I'm talking like 10 miles away from a road, and put on some music, stare at the trees, listen to the birds, and cook. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's surprising that you're like cooking out in the wilderness. Like
yep.
you have he's got a cheese board, like,
I do.
15
Charcuterie
miles,
platter.
15 miles due east of any discernible neighbor.
I didn't even think of that. That's hilarious.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah. So who in your life has had the biggest impact on how you choose to live?
Hmm. I think my father was I was so lucky to have two parents that really wanted to have kids, and I have a dad, 89 tomorrow, who is a true Renaissance man, and he taught me a lot about not just going down one path. He has a PhD in the hemispheres of the brain. He's a painter. He's an amazing piano player. He's an amazing cook. He also dug my brother and I a swimming pool in the backyard and built an entire backyard area for us to have a swimming pool when we were kids. So I really respect him because he has all of those things. And through my life, I've tried um, to not just be kind of one dimensional.
It's
Wow.
great. Yeah, I'd have to give it to, four people. I mean, my parents,
Hmm.
but what's funny to me, my parents were divorced when I was very young, and they're very different. They're, very
Yeah.
different people. And I mean, I'm kind of grateful for that because I get to see, two sides of almost any situation.
Yeah.
It's funny. I mean, I talk to them both regularly all the time. And, if I explain a situation to one of them, and I'll get a certain feedback, and then I'll explain it to the other one, and it's like a completely different thing. And in
That's
ways
great.
that's maddening, but
Yeah.
it's also good because I'm kind of getting, a wide palette of information. And then also obviously my wife, and most recently my daughter. I mean,
Hmm.
I've learned, I always say this to people who are thinking about having kids or about to have kids, like I've learned more about life from my daughter than she's ever learned from me. I mean, I'm
Right.
constantly amazed at the situations that we're in, that I'm learning from her, and just from being around her, and what her experience of life is. But yeah, I'd say that.
Wow, I love that. Um, so I love inspiring and motivational quotes, and this week the one that spoke to me is after silence, that which comes nearest to expressing the inexpressible is music.
Mm.
Um, is there a quotation that has inspired you lately?
It's funny you say this because Jim and I were just talking yesterday, and he nailed the one is my favorite, like of all time. And if I'm gonna get a tattoo, it's probably gonna be that because my father used to tell this to me every single, every time something would happen, this too shall pass. And it's such a great, it allows you to look at life when you're really high. Hey, wait, this too shall pass. Sometime, so get ready for it. Or when things are really down, this too shall pass. You can get through it. Um, I'm really inspired by that saying, and yes, I will get a tattoo of it one of these days. Sorry to
I,
steal
I'm
yours, Jim.
No, no, I got another one that
Okay.
relates to us making this record too, and
Ah,
anyone doing anything creatively. I forget where I heard it. Um, it's better to be done than to be perfect.
yeah, love it.
So, that's something where, I really related to that in the idea that, when you're working on something creative, and Maya, you touched on this earlier, it's like, well, where's your benchmark? Well, how good does it have to be? Well, sometimes you can get so focused on something being perfect that you can take 9 years to finish something.
Yeah.
And, real artists, the ones that one of the things that I admire about them is how prolific they are. You look at someone like Prince or Billy Joel or the Beatles, and in a short window of time, their creative output was unbelievable.
Yep.
Now, those guys, most of what they were doing was great, but you get better the more reps you get, the more things
Hmm.
you do.
Yep.
So for us, it was really important for us to do it in a somewhat timely manner. We didn't want to take 2 years to make this thing.
Hmm.
We got in the room together, and because we live in different states and we're both busy and have other jobs, we were like, we need to really focus and kind of do it. And then there is a point where you kind of get towards the end when you're mixing the finals, and Rob and I, will kind of go back and forth. Is it done? Yeah, I'm not sure. And then, but if at some point you have to just say it's done,
Done.
and that's as far as we can take it for now, and then just keep moving to the next thing. So
Hmm.
I like it's better to be done than perfect.
I love it.
Yeah, I love both of those. Yeah. Well, that was my final question for you.
Great.
Thank you both so much for joining me. I've had the
Oh,
best time talking with you. You made my day.
oh, thank you,
Oh,
Maya. We
well, it's our
appreciate you.
pleasure. Yeah, really nice to meet you.
Indeed.
You too. Yeah.
And obviously, anytime if you want to come to see a Goo Goo Dolls show or a Flight to London show, if we ever get to play in your area, but the Goo Goo Dolls come around quite a bit. So if you ever want to come, just reach out to me and I'll get you tickets.
Oh, thank you so much.
Of course.
Yeah, and whenever you guys want to come back on, I would love to have another conversation
Anytime.
with you.
That'd be great. Maybe
Anytime. We'd
after the
love it.
record comes out. Our record comes out. And so, yeah, as Rob said
Yeah.
earlier, we have one song out now. It's called No One's Forgiven. And our second song comes out October 24th, which is called Walls. And the record comes out November 21st. So that's flight to London.music. And yeah, and then we'll probably have more. So we're going to keep writing and trying to
Hmm.
get as much music out as we can.
Oh, yay. I'm so excited and I would love to, yeah, have you guys back on. And
Anytime, give
yeah,
us a ring.
Thank you.
thank you. Yeah, and that's a wrap on today's edition of The Latest with Maya.